So what's up? I haven't had a video in about 2 weeks, and a little bit longer, and just been busy. I would say it's because of like Christmas and all that stuff, but we didn't really do Christmas. I think I talked about that in the last video. I was just really hyped up about the UFC fight, and honestly, it's just been like really like cold and snowy, and there's of course that all that bad weather that's been around. And back home in Perryville, back in Missouri, they apparently got it pretty bad, but over here in Kansas we got like, all in all, like maybe 4 inches or something like that. We barely got any snow at all, so it ain't no thing. But I just figured I'd post another video because it's been so long since I've had one up. Let's see. I think I got some birthday shout-outs, but I don't really remember exactly whose birthdays they are, but if you do watch this sometime and it was your birthday today, happy birthday. Other than that, I got a little bit of news with the work department. I know like in the first or second video I was talking about looking for jobs and all that, but I was talking to an old friend of mine that I used to do some work for, with Dato Skateboards. And if you haven't heard of Dato Skateboards, D-A-T-O, if you haven't heard of them, check those guys out. They're out of New Jersey. I've been working with them for a while. Like back when I was like 18, I worked with them. Really, really cool guys, real down to earth, and they're just real chill. I mean, right now they're literally chill because Jersey's doing pretty bad with the weather too. But I'm gonna be going around here in Kansas or wherever I, end up finding myself to go, and I'm gonna start setting up accounts for them. So if you haven't skated a Dato deck, you are missing out. They are a lot different than reject decks because they're completely different warehouses. But Dato decks, just like reject decks, have really good feels for them. It's a weird thing. Sometimes you get on a skateboard and you can just kind of have a feel for it. I was that way when I first stood on a Baker skateboard. I stood on one, kind of got my feet in the concave and just fell in love with it. And that's the same way I was with Dato. And I've loved it. I had a board and I skated it for a while, and then when my girlfriend at the time was pregnant, I didn't really skate it too much. But then I skated it after he was born, and me and her had split up. Started skating it hard again, and I think all in all that board probably lasted a full year skating it hard. And then with my reject decks, I haven't broken any of those yet, but yeah, check those guys out. They have websites and blogs and all kinds of stuff. Facebook, definitely check them out on Facebook, and if you haven't liked the rejects on Facebook yet, definitely go do that. But I will be doing some work with those guys, just setting up accounts, and they're gonna get me a little bit of a finder's fee, nothing too crazy. But I'm hoping to really hook those guys up with some business. And if you do end up watching this video and you go look at Dato Skateboards on Facebook or Twitter, I think they have a Twitter. If you go on Instagram or whatever it is, and you find Dato, again that's D-A-T-O. Let them know that Nate hooked you up with the information, and they hopefully me and Ben can work out like a deal where I can refer some people. You guys can get some bits of a discount, but don't quote me on that because I haven't really done much with them for a few years now, so I'm hoping to get that back going. So I will be posting some videos hopefully later this week again, because I have some decks that are being shipped out today to me. I got like some decks, some shirts, stickers, and I got a bunch of that stuff coming in from Dato. What I'm going to do is I'm going to that's a sample pack. I'm going to send it to go to a bunch of shops around here or places that don't sell skateboards yet, but should, and see if I can set those guys up with Dato, see if I can hook them up with my brand rejects. Talk to my buddy Jack Donzi about seeing if maybe Tumieto or whatever other companies he represents, like he's a sales rep for a few different companies, and hopefully kind of bring out some business around here. But this will be all for Kansas or Bust, whatever episode this is, because this video is getting kind of long and I need to go outside in the garage and skate. So, video coming up later this week, hopefully, or like just next week on Monday. And I'm going to hopefully get back into sync with doing videos all the time. A little out of breath, I just got done working out, but you guys have yourself a great Monday.